Good morning. How to keep closer to neutral. Beth asked this question the other day. I posted the question on my page, and I've since pinned it to the top of my coaching page. So if you want to take a look at it and chime in. But the question essentially is, when it comes to things like mindset and action and thinking and thought and getting things done and ideas and all the things that I've been talking about for the past month, um, how would you answer the following, or how would you complete the following? How do I blank? And the answers that have been rolling in have inspired the last few days of videos, and it's inspiring today's video. And yeah, so thanks for that question, Beth. And it's a good one, and one I wish I had the very simple answer to. But the truth of the matter is that what has helped me and the insight that I found might not be what helps you. It's a very personal and individual experience. Uh, really coming down to this idea that our entire experience of life is from thought, right? It's from thought that's flowing through us all the time and creating different emotional experiences along the way. And when you really grasp that, when you really get that it's all just, hi Miranda, when it's all just thought, it suddenly, I don't know how to explain it, because again, this is just how I see it. It takes the edge off of having an emotional experience. It takes the edge off of realizing that you're not in that middle centered space, but you're either, high up in the emotional right sine curve or down low in the emotional sine curve. And when you realize, again, when it hits that it's all just thought, you stop trying to change all the things outside of you. You stop trying to control the uncontrollable, because you know that you don't have to change anything outside of you to just feel fine and to come back to yourself and to find that inner peace and quiet and centered. So that's kind of one part of it, is just the power of that understanding suddenly makes it less, I don't know what the word is, less scary, less uncomfortable when we find ourselves in those emotional places, in the waves. Now, when it comes to like, well, how do we stay closer to neutral, or how do we come back to neutral? I'd like to go back to that ocean metaphor that I used in the past when I talked about, your thermal vent wisdom thought showing up in those dark, quiet, calm places, and how to practice being comfortable not knowing, and in that space of just, I call it centeredness. But sometimes we end up at the waves, right? Sometimes we're up in the surface of the ocean and it's stormy and it's wavy and we're just like being buffeted around by all of this water. And so that question of like, well, how do we, let's say, get back to that neutral place? In my mind is, all right, so how do we get back down to where it's quiet and still? And if you imagine, again, being in the ocean, and forgive me if you're not a water fan, I use that metaphor a lot. But if you're in the ocean and you suddenly realize you're in the waves, right? You're just having this emotional experience of things. It's common practice to let me try and stop the waves. Let me try and, hi Vera, how awesome that you're here. Let me try and stop the waves. Let me try and just push them all down and swim through them. And if I just do that, then I will sink back down to the bottom. And all that does is just create more agitation, right? It's more of a fight. Like, I've got to stop all of this. But there is no stopping it, right? The ocean is out of your control. Or if you like the weather metaphor, the weather is out of your control. There's nothing you can do. But what you can do when you realize, oh, these are just waves. This is a part of something bigger, is you can relax and you can just float on your back. And that doesn't mean that you're going to suddenly the waves are going to stop. It just means you're going to have a different experience of those things. You're going to have a different experience of those ups and those downs. And what happens in water is when you relax and you exhale, you know what happens? You start to sink. And you just naturally go down into that quiet, dark place. Dark suggests ominous, but just, that quiet, centered, but still flowing, right? Things are still moving down there. The ocean's still alive down in the depths. But it's not that agitated, uncertain, overwhelming space that is being up in the waves. So along with just really considering the implications of this understanding that we live in a world of thought and that our experience of life is only thought coming in and out. That and this kind of paired idea that when it gets choppy, when it gets really intense, you can't stop it, but you can relax into it. And I really do love that idea of instead of trying to fight through it, but just to lay on your back and to ride it out. So I'm curious what you're all hearing. I know only a couple of you are here live, so I'd love to know what's coming up for you. If there's any thoughts you want to share in the comments. Today is really the second to last day that I'm going to be doing this on a daily basis, but I will likely be back once a week. I may shift over to Zoom actually, so I can see some of you face to face. I'm thinking about like a weekly class that you can be a part of if you want to, but I'll figure those details out before tomorrow and make sure that you know all about them, and I'll keep posting updates here. Yeah, and tomorrow will be just kind of like someone asked for kind of a summary of things. So maybe tomorrow I'll do my best to summarize some of the stuff that's come up over the past month. And I invite you, as always, to share continued questions, comments, either through direct message or you can message me through the page you're on now. I invite you to like the page you're on now if you're not there yet, because if you like it and if you even want to turn the notifications on, you'll see when I'm live. And Miranda's saying, yay, in Zoom we can participate live too. That's my idea. As much as I like the teaching piece, I don't have a problem like sitting up and talking through the screen. But where things really get lit up and the magic happens is when we talk one-on-one. For those of you who've worked with me or had one-on-one sessions before, you know that it's with coaching with me, it's something that happens between two people. It's not just me teaching. It's this combination of sharing ideas and then really giving you the space to explore what's coming up for you. And I'm doing my best on this platform, but it's great when we can kind of be in the same virtual space together. Yeah. So any other thoughts today? Any other things you're noticing, questions? I'm happy to stick around for a few more minutes. It's been kind of a short one today, but again, I go on where you're at. So yeah. Awesome. I hope you've had a fabulous week so far. I hope you continue to have an amazing Thursday. And feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. Again, thank you for liking and loving these videos and sharing them. It's helping get the word out, which the more people I can reach with this, the better I think it is, because I think these things can really impact and change how we experience our life, which is really cool. All right. Vera, live conversations are always wonderful with you. Thank you. Well, I miss you. Those 4 sessions we had were really awesome. And if you think you could make it to some of the live Zoom ones, that would be amazing. I got to figure out how to structure it. You're a great way to start the day. Thanks, Vera. I just got your email too. It was really awesome. So I'll be following up with that. And yeah. All right. Be well, everybody. And I'll talk to you tomorrow.